He had the Colts within a score in the fourth quarter. I think we have to look at his performance and gauge how impressed are you by what he did last night despite the loss?
Yeah, super. I mean, listen, it's as inspirational as it gets, right? Like, you can't have a more dramatic story in what he's done. The problem is you got to win.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line in the NFL, right? Is you've had two opportunities against two good teams to go win, and the Colts defense didn't do enough. Their run game didn't do enough to help Phillip Rivers. I was a little bit shocked, honestly, with the game plan going. And look, Phil did a fantastic job, and he's a coach on the field. He's putting them all in the perfect play, right? He's getting to the line of scrimmage. He's making sure everybody knows it. And until the Orlando check from one side to the other that they pick six it, he's putting them in the best chance to win. But the bottom line is you had to slow that 49ers offense down. You got to be able to run the football. And they just did not give JT nearly enough touches, in my opinion. You left it to a shootout, and Purdy's playing lights. And you see your defense. They don't even give a speed bump, man. Like, run game and passing game, they're getting torched. And so it frustrates you because you got to find a way to win those games. Unfortunately, we start 8-1, and now we're going to.
See, Jeff said, like, he was impressed, and then he gave us all the other stuff after.
Why it wasn't
They got to win the games.
That's the team.
They weren't going to win these games anyway. I am impressed by what Phillip Rivers was able to do. It was fantastic. I was on the call when he first came back, the Seattle game, and we're talking to him the night before the game. And he said to us, hell, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm excited to be out there, but I can go out there and pop my calf on the first play running from Leonard Williams. He comes back the next week, and they had to throw the ball, Jeff, because to your point, their defense, they're giving up 40 points, so you have to be able to keep up. So watching Phillip Rivers, yes, does he have the arm to get the ball 50 yards down the field? No. But watching him get them in and out of plays, watching him throw with accuracy and anticipation to make a few touchdown passes, 44 years old was so impressive to me to be out there.
With a 5-year layoff. And let's not forget, Courtney, it wasn't too long ago when Mr. Saturday did that Tuesday NFL list and had the Colts #1. I said, what are you doing?
I love it.
Tough day for my guy.
That was a bad one.
That was not bad.
Yes,
They were 8-1.
So what? We all knew that was fraudulent.
They had 98% chance to make the playoffs.
What is it now?
2.
Okay.
2. I mean, how does that happen? And here, this is my problem. Last night, San Francisco can't rush the passer. So you know he's going to sit back there with time to go push. But that's the perfect scenario. Again, and they're weak against the run. At some point, you got to balance your offense to give them a chance.
Hey, but there was no room for the times they did give him the ball, Taylor. There was absolutely no room for him to go anywhere.
Yeah,
to be fair.
Agreed. Yeah. This is not a JT thing, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. There has to be, the defense has got to help you. Special teams can't turn it over. Like, you can't get penalties. All the things that you did to shoot yourself in the foot.
That Seattle game was the best punch they were going to throw.
The best.
I remember they had two things last night that killed them. One, they had the fumble on the second kickoff at 7-7. And then when they were down by 2 touchdowns, they had the penalty when he ran back the kickoff to the 40-yard line of San Francisco. So they had the 2
and they had
huge
a penalty
penalties.
in the red zone, too.
That cost them, too. Yeah.
Either way, though, we can agree it's an inspirational story. And it's great for him, too, because remember, he has all these kids. He resets his insurance clock.
Baby, that's signal.
5 more years. He may delay his path to the Hall of Fame if he gets there, but
hey, listen,
he's locked
I'm going
it
to
up.
let you know, if he plays games like that, I could go back and be a center for a little bit. Like, he got that ball coming out fast. You just hand check, ball gone. I like QBs like that. That's what I'm talking about. Phil knows. Don't get hit.
Are you putting your name out there?
No. Don't get crazy. I was just it's in a mythical
world.
In a mythical fantasy land. Not real. It's a little different position, that QB and center. I'm getting that dome knocked a little bit. But I did love how fast he was delivering the ball. I mean, he sees the game as well as anybody who's ever played it. And when you heard it last night, it was special to watch, because I want players now and kids who watch it to realize the mental part of our game can make you so capable of performance. It doesn't always, you don't have to be a physical freak all the time. You can be the smartest guy on the field and put yourselves in great position. He did it, man. And that.
This is what happens when you don't have your script directly in front of you. Ladies and gentlemen, back on Get Up, and our next stop is Green Bay, where the Ravens and Packers will play a monster game Saturday night with Lamar Jackson's status very much in doubt. He's dealing with a back contusion and considered day-to-day with his team on the brink of playoff elimination. Now, there's a lot at stake for both teams this Saturday. With a win, the Packers would clinch a playoff spot and eliminate the Ravens from postseason contention, while a Ravens win keeps them alive at least through Sunday, as they are hoping for a Steelers loss. Pittsburgh will be in Cleveland. Back on the desk with a script. Graz, we begin with you. We know Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson haven't had a lot of success in the postseason. Adam Schefter brought this up yesterday. 3 total wins with those two working together. Is it a certainty that they're both back next season with Baltimore?
I'm going to say no. And the reason is that they are at an inflection point with Lamar Jackson's contract. There are 2 years left, no guaranteed money. And if they do nothing, the cap hit is almost $75 million. So they have to address it in some way. Most teams, I think would do it as an extension, and the Ravens very well may. I mean, no one's going to fault them for doing that. This is the best player in the league. But, they haven't had success with him. If he misses this game Saturday due to injury, that's not the first game he's missed this year due to injury. It's not the first year where he's missed a lot of games due to injury. If you are the Ravens and you get to a point where you think, you're a good, circumspect organization that makes, reasoned decisions. If you say to yourself, yeah, he's great, but if we pay him $60+ million a year, are we going to be able to build a Super Bowl team? They have built elite teams around him that couldn't get over that hump and get to the Super Bowl. So they may be able to convince themselves that, yeah, we can build an elite roster and it's just a matter of getting over the playoff hump. But I think it's worth asking the question going forward. It's also important to remember Lamar Jackson has a no-trade clause, so if they got to that point, they'd need his help.
Oh, the idea of no Lamar Jackson in Baltimore?
Yeah, it blows my mind.
Yeah, mine too.
I think Graz mentioned that they haven't had the ultimate success. You can't say they haven't had success.
Right.
They've been incredibly successful. And this organization has always been looking for a quarterback. And they had Joe Flacco, who was a very good quarterback, but they've never had a player like this. So the idea that this is even something that they would seriously consider, and I understand, everything's on the table when you're making these type of decisions. You want to be able to make the best possible decision, which means considering everything. But I don't know that there's any other organization in football that I would allow to even put this on the table without saying everybody in that building is nuts. They've had such a track record that you consider something like this, but it still sounds ridiculous because the hardest thing to find is a superstar quarterback. You got one. It's not one comes out every year. It's not one every 10 years. There's like 4 of them in the league at a time. You got one of them. I know he's not healthy all the time. I know you haven't had Super Bowl success, but that doesn't mean that you can't in the future. Jeff was with Peyton. It took a while to win that championship. Right. Nobody was up there like, maybe we need to cash in this Peyton Manning chip.
Well, Graz probably was. Graz probably trying to get rid of him, too.
It's important to understand.
There was a case to be
made. I'm saying is, I'm not going to go on social the rest of the day. I understand how this is going to get clipped off and all that.
Yes.
That's how it...
Himbo's already done that.
But if the Baltimore Ravens,
and
you get to the point where you decide to move on from Lamar Jackson, you are not going to replace him with a better player. There is not a better player in the league. What you would be deciding is this build hasn't worked. Meaning it hasn't won a Super Bowl. Yes, they've had success. But if you're trying to win championships and you get to the point can we win a championship around this? And no,
I get what you're saying.
There are plenty of teams that look at the quarterback situation and say, well, if we're going to pay at that level, then it's going to make it challenging to build around it.
Yeah.
And, the Ravens may be in a situation where they say, well, maybe we need to invest more in the pass rush instead of just sort of getting by there every single year.
I think if you've reached that point, then you got to look at it from an organizational standpoint. And if I'm the Baltimore Ravens, I would say, well, the one thing I know we have is we have a quarterback that gives us a chance to win the Super Bowl. So if we're looking at the structure of our organization, we say, well, what we have right now isn't good enough to get over the hump. I think for me first, I'm looking around the quarterback to try to figure out what needs to change to build it back up, because that is we see organizations fail year after year because they can't find that position.
I mean, Jeff, he isn't even 29 years old. He'll be 29 at the beginning of January.
Yeah, and listen, everything has context, right? And the same thing that when Nick was bringing it up, the Peyton Manning conversation was because we couldn't beat Brady, right? The Patriots knocked us out twice or whatever it was, and I think the Steelers, they won the Super Bowl that year. It happens. Last year, they had to throw right into the Andrews drop or whatever. There's just different things in different moments, right? All these things happen. And I'm not... The most difficult thing to find in sport is a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
If you think you have one, then to J-Mac's point, and I don't think you're saying, but I'm saying that you build around that guy. That guy is, I'm not saying he's irreplaceable, but it is really difficult to find somebody.
And can I say this? To me, the only way you make this decision is if you're the Baltimore Ravens and you see Lamar every single day, if you feel like he's reached his peak, and from this point on, like we're not getting back to an MVP level, that to me is the only way you make a move like that. If not, then you continue to grow around him.
Rob's final word.
The context on that, though, is it's not just has he reached his peak. Everything has a price. And it's like if we have to pay him more than Dak Prescott makes, are we going to be in a similar situation to the one the Cowboys find themselves in, which is they have a hard time building the roster around it?
I mean, and you draft better, and you do what you don't do. So
he drafts better than the Ravens.
Exactly. So then you keep going. So it would just suggest to me that it's more going on than football if that's a decision that is made. Because if you have a consistent,
you're not putting words in my mouth.
No,
No.
I'm saying I'm very careful to protect you on this, Cross, but I'm just saying in general that that's not a move you make. And if you have a quarterback that's playing like that, what we've seen on the field, it's not a move that you're willing to make.